Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast. This is episode 140. Everyone who's listening right now is probably thinking, man, where have you guys been? We've been in here.
We've been in the lab.
We've been in the studio recording. Let's give a quick backstory to where we have been. It's been like probably 3 weeks since our last uploaded video. Since our last episode, we did a quarterback ranking video with Willie that weekend after, ranking every starting quarterback in the entire NFL. It was such a fun episode.
Yeah.
Super duper fun. And then the day after that, we were like, well, we got to make a playoff video, so let's record that right now, post that, and then we'll post the QB one later in a couple days. Do our first ever like pre-recorded stashed episode. We're thinking we're ahead of the game.
I was thinking like, I kind of feel like a professional.
Yeah, like we could start doing this, actually, pumping out some episodes that don't need to come out right away, stashing them. Well, that was a horrible idea. I mean, I guess it wasn't. Like
it wasn't poorly executed. It was just poorly executed.
And then Easton, after we filmed the second episode, went to his computer to upload it, and the files didn't exist.
Both
of them. And I was so sad.
Like you joke about depression every once in a while, but like the depression hit right there. Like it was like a damn. Do I really want to keep doing this?
Exactly. That's in that when it happens in the moment, it's just like that's all I'm thinking about. Like, do I really want to like podcast ever again? And it's been a week. It's been like at least a week since we've like done that. Just
maybe a week and a half.
We needed some time off for after that to recover.
Oh my God! So if this one does not upload,
right? Exactly. But this is literally the fourth episode 140, but it's the first one you guys are hearing. So since we went through all of that and lost one of our best episodes ever, the quarterback ranking one,
so much
please
fun.
Give this one a like, a subscribe, a download, a share, a retweet, whatever it is.
We are back.
Give us some love because we need some extra motivation to keep going because I mean, this has happened to us before.
Yeah.
But not to this extent. Not back-to-back episodes. Just spent a total of like
2.5 hours. The quarterback episode was an hour and a half long.
Exactly.
Longest episode ever.
It was very long, and it was so fun. Like, it was a great episode.
Tons of chirping.
We might have to redo. No, we can't. I'll post like a quarterback just so you guys can see our quarterback list. I'll post them on TikTok eventually. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll figure out a way to post them. But just know Easton majorly sleeping on Matt Ryan. Just putting it out there.
And I think Russell Wilson is top 5 most overrated QB in the NFL.
Dude, that's the dumbest video I've ever seen, dude. Anyways, anything else we got to get off our chests from just missing this past couple weeks?
One thing that we need to do as a collective podcast is we need to update the stew. We have new stuff to put up.
Facts.
We haven't. Like, I've got that Cade poster that just never has gone up.
We need to get that up here.
We need to get that up
We
here.
do need to update the studio.
I need to find a frame.
It's been a minute. This stuff has been here. Like, I like the stuff we got, but it's been...
We can definitely move this to the right, put a new poster.
We definitely can move some more stuff over here.
We definitely need to fill up this wall.
The audio
with
listeners
stuff.
probably can't tell what's going on.
We're pointing a ton of directions.
Just know if you're listening on audio, head over to YouTube to see what we're talking about.
And just hit a like. Please hit the like button.
Subscribe,
and comment something friendly. We need it.
Yeah, like just be nice to us. Like we cannot take a negative comment right now.
We'll push us over the edge so quickly.
Speaking of Cade, cover of Slam magazine today. The photo shoot dropped. Such a dope photo shoot. Got him in the Pistons jersey with the buffs on, with the fire robe rocking. Then he got him in a League Fits outfit, like looking drippy as hell.
Looking hot.
It is
like you said, man.
Exactly. Like it's just a great look for Detroit because we ain't never had a guy like that. That's in the media like that on Slam magazine. So
like such a big social deal. Like socially a huge deal. And he looked so cool in that fur coat.
Oh, I know.
He looked like he was about to drop 30 and 15 on your favorate team. Like, and that's what he's going to be doing all next year.
I just miss watching like. As much as the playoffs, I mean, the playoffs haven't been good.
They sucked.
As much as I like playoff basketball, I really miss watching Cade Cunningham and the Pistons play. Like, I really do miss watch. I know they weren't good last year, but I enjoyed watching every single game.
I learned that they're my favorite team to watch.
Yeah,
I prefer to watch them over any other team in the league. Like even in these playoffs, it's just because
it's my favorite team. Yeah,
even in this playoffs,
obviously they're not the best team.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wish I was like, I would love to just watch Killian Hayes have 7-7-7 right now.
Exactly,
like, it'd be awesome.
I would so much rather watch a bad Pistons game than a bad play. No, I don't know. Maybe
I would.
Rather
than the playoff games we've been getting.
Decent Pistons game than a bad playoff game. Yes.
Then the playoff games we've been getting, I think I would take almost any Pistons game over it.
So let's talk about that quickly. The playoffs. Warriors are up 3-1 over the Mavs. Tonight is game 5. What are we thinking? Are we thinking Dallas has a chance of this crazy comeback, or is Golden State closing it out?
I don't know. Golden State has a tendency to kind of mess around. Like they don't usually just like get shit done and just finish it. They like to kind of mess around. You know, Steph might go out and shoot 15 threes, 20 threes this game, and they could lose this game, and go into a 6th game, maybe push it to a 7th game. But I doubt that. I highly doubt that. I really hope the Warriors just kind of close it out and we can get past this awful conference finals we have. Has a single game been within 10 points other than one Warriors-Mavericks game?
Technically, the Heat-Celtics game 4, when the Heat tied it up 2-2, the Heat won by 9, but it was a blowout the entire time, and it was a comeback right at the end. So technically, yes, but no.
Yeah, the playoffs have been awful. Yeah. If you've been watching, you've been a disappointed NBA fan. I haven't seen a single positive comment about the NBA playoffs this year, and it's for good reason.
Should have been such a good series, and it's still there's still 3-2 right now. It still could end very well, but last night was the first close game we had for a while, and it was a horrible game. It was no team were playing good, and then in the fourth quarter, late third quarter, the Celtics turned it into a blowout. So it's just. I thought that series was going to be great.
Yeah.
And I guess we should have thought, these two great defensive teams might make it crazy boring.
Yeah, and
teams that shoot a lot of threes.
Yeah, the injuries have really put a damper on it. And I think teams have this weird thing right now in the NBA where if they're not making threes, they continue to shoot them like they are making them.
Oh, yeah. Every team does.
And I don't understand, where has the 2-point game gone? Literally, if you cannot make a 3, and, Reggie Bullock, 0 for 10, right? Yeah. Obviously, that's a kind of a, odd thing that doesn't happen often. But you're telling me you don't start going for dunks and, because 2 is better than 0.
Right.
Right? I get that 3
Max
is better
Strus
than 2.
has gone 0 for whatever in the last 2 games.
Yeah, been awful.
Yeah.
He's been horrible. Duncan Robinson is back into the rotation.
Yeah.
They're looking for offense that badly.
Tyler Hero's been a big...
Yeah, huge
miss for the Heat.
It's been huge. I mean, he's I didn't realize how important he was offensively. I mean, granted, he plays 35 minutes as a backup point guard.
But when it's just Jimmy out there, they don't got no one else that can score. And when Jimmy's the main focal point, he struggles. They're screwed.
Bam is completely back down to the challenge. He looks like he's worse than both Robert Williams and Al Horford at times.
Rob Williams has been a huge factor against him in this series.
Massive. Robert Williams is. He will next year be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year.
Probably.
He is that special defensively. He alters that many plays where he's not even in the paint, and he'll alter a play. He is unbelievable. He has become one of my favorite players. I didn't know why his nickname was the Time Lord. Do you know why?
Isn't it because it's not? I used to think it was because, in his short amount of minutes, he does a lot, but he doesn't play that much because he gets in foul trouble. But I did see a video about it recently, but I don't remember why.
Yeah, in his rookie year, I didn't know he had a maturity issue. They said he was just crazy immature. He would show up late all the time to practice.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So they would just call him the Time Lord, which makes the nickname way better as you become a better player.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if he just continued to not be good.
Yeah, never show
developed.
up. And it's you have that cool of a name and you suck.
Exactly.
But no, he is here. He is. Again, he's the new NBA center. He doesn't have to be huge, but if he can rotate, play on
rebound really well,
2 through 5, incredibly physical. Oh man, that's where the NBA is going, and it's fun. It is fun.
So who do you got finishing out this series? Celtics are up 3-2, headed back to Boston for Game 6 tomorrow night.
I'm taking Celtics.
Yeah.
I think the Celtics just look so good, and Marcus Smart has played in 3 games out of the 5. Right?
I think so. I think 2. He's gone on and off. Yep.
Yeah. And when he even plays, they are just a completely different roster. This Celtics roster is scary deep, and I think they're going to be really good for years to come.
Yeah, 100%.
Everybody should be afraid of the Celtics going forward because they aren't getting worse from here. They only get better. Grant Williams only gets better. Robert Williams only gets better. JT, Jaylen Brown, still getting better.
Obviously, yeah.
JT is now a top 10 player in the league, in my opinion. He has been that good this season. I'll say right now, I think he's going to win the MVP next year. I really do think there's a very good chance he does. This Celtics team looks so good, and against an elite Miami Heat team.
Yeah,
they're still looking that good. Jason Tatum is a superstar that I've really started to. Not that I didn't enjoy watching him, but he plays the game. He has no problem passing out of a double team, unlike a lot of superstars. Right. He is such a willing passer when a double team or he's not like wide open or, and it's not his turn. He is so willing to give that ball up. It's amazing. I love watching a superstar who has no problem going out and scoring 21 points and getting the win.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so unselfish and he's awesome. He's a dog too.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Celtics as well. It's been a little shaky for both teams, obviously, because each game's been a blowout. The Celtics have had their games where they shoot the ball really poorly. Tatum, had, as much as, you say, he's been great, he has had a couple stinkers in this series. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the Celtics, after winning last night, the way they won in Miami, really depleted the Heat, and I think they're going to win this series. I do think if it is Celtics-Warriors finals, it will be a good series. Mm-hmm. I would be shocked if it's not, all these blowouts, because it's it's two good defenses still again, but any series that you have Steph Curry in with the number one defense, I feel like is going to be a fun series. Yeah, to see how they try and stop him.
Yeah, Marcus Smart on Steph Curry for hopefully 7 games.
And I would assume Jason Tatum's going to get some Steph Curry minutes. Jaylen Brown's going to get some. Derek White has been really good.
It's going to be, if you play the Warriors, it's defense by committee, no doubt. Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, so hopefully that is a good series. I guess I didn't even mention what we're doing today in this episode. We're doing our first official mock draft. Oh, the draft lottery has happened from now in between our last episode. That's awful.
We were disappointed.
Yeah, I'm not mad that we got the 5th pick. Obviously, in the moment I was, but now I'm not.
I was disappointed.
Still disappointed, yeah. But we still got a top 5 pick. But yeah, we're doing a mock draft today, first round mock. We're going to do another one before the draft happens, but the draft is on June 23rd, so less than a month from right now. Super excited for the offseason. I love the playoffs. Love the offseason even more. I'm just super excited because this is a huge offseason for the Pistons.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to talk about the reason I wasn't mad that the Pistons didn't get the first pick is because top 3. Nobody in this draft is Cade Cunningham. There's not a Cade Cunningham in this draft.
Like a consensus number 1.
No, I don't think there's a player as good as Cade Cunningham. I literally think. That's why I'm yeah. I'd rather take the first pick in last year's draft than the first pick in this year's draft.
And we have Cade Cunningham, so it sucks we didn't get a top 3, but we're not looking to get our next superstar. We're looking to get our next number 2.
Yeah, because Cade is number 1. Yeah. There's no guy in this draft who could no guy in the top 30 that could be better than Cade.
Exactly. So before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about just some off-season buzz that's already been going on. First things first, Zach LaVine is probably the biggest free agent, without an option pending or whatever, going into this offseason. I guess Bradley Beal, too. It's between those guys. But Zach LaVine did not sign an extension with Chicago during the season. LeVar Ball said that Zach LaVine don't want to be in Chicago for whatever reason.
What the hell does LeVar know?
And LaVine, there's been a lot of stuff on Twitter. He retweeted a picture of him and DeJounte Murray on the Spurs.
What is up with that? Why are they friends?
I don't really know why they're friends.
Okay, I didn't know if there was because there is a connection. DeJounte wants to play with Zach.
I don't know. I think they're both from Seattle. I think.
Oh, okay. And I know DeJounte's from Seattle.
DeJounte's from Seattle. I think Zach LaVine is from Seattle.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
So maybe that could be why.
Yeah.
But still, those guys are friends, and the Spurs have the money to sign a guy. Obviously, the Pistons do, but I don't think it would be I don't think Zach LaVine wants to come to Detroit anyways, but Portland has been rumored with Zach LaVine. If Chicago loses out on Zach LaVine, though, it's a huge, dismantle.
It's huge. It's a collapse from an organization that looked like they were on the right path going up. You still have P. Will.
Yeah.
And Zach LaVine looked like you're the kind of guy that you're going to give a max to this offseason and be one of your, front runners and your front pieces for a long time. And now it ain't looking so good.
Yeah.
It looks like LaVine wants out.
Zach LaVine is going to get the max. Chicago's going to offer him the max, but it's just far as he's going to get the max from several teams. So it's what does he want to choose? I kind of do think Zach LaVine will still end up returning to Chicago. The Lakers getting Zach LaVine, I just don't see it happening. It would be way too difficult. The Lakers said they don't want to ship a first-round pick with Russell Westbrook in a trade, which I don't know how you're going to do it because why would any team, no offense, I love Russell Westbrook. I'm a huge fan of his, but there isn't one other 29 team in the NBA that would trade for Russell Westbrook right now. It makes no sense for any team to.
There's not an organization that you can look at and go, yeah, maybe the Suns.
Maybe.
I'm messing. But you're right. Not one other team looks like they could use a Russell Westbrook.
No, not one team. So And yeah, the Lakers, they have a lot of buzz going on. They have to make major changes too. The Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving. Oh no, he's a free agent as well. He has a player option. The Nets said that they don't know if they want to bring Kyrie back because of his off the court issues and his inability to play a lot, which would be awful for the Nets because Kevin Durant, everyone says KD's going to leave. KD signed an extension during the season last year, or maybe the year before, so he's not leaving. He'd have to get traded, and Kevin Durant's not getting traded.
Yeah.
So Kyrie Irving, I assume he will be back in Brooklyn. Like him and KD are boys. They made it through the James Harden situation. I'd assume he comes back.
I would actually I'd be really sad and disappointed to see him on a different roster.
Right.
Like I feel like, great, and I get it. As an NBA franchise, there's money involved. It is a money thing. If you are paying a guy to not play, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
But like for the reasons he was sitting out, and I get some of it as antics, and he has a job to do, but it was a lot of like reasons that I don't think are that crazy.
Right.
As an NBA player, especially not wanting to get vaccinated. I don't think that's a crazy idea as an NBA player, especially with how healthy these guys are. So I would really be disappointed to see him on a different roster because of his off-the-court issues. Because I wouldn't consider this year it to be issues. Yeah, it was a problem for the Nets.
Yeah.
It wasn't a problem for Kyrie. And he wasn't like causing literal problems.
Right.
So it would really suck to see him off the Nets for that reason, but I understand.
And I want to see Kyrie, KD, and Ben Simmons. I mean, I really think
Yeah.
it could be an interesting trio. They have flexibility to make other moves this offseason. So I think the Nets could be right back as the favorite to win the East again next year if Kyrie comes back.
They have a first-round pick.
Yeah, hopefully. So, yeah, that's it. I wanted to talk a little bit about Jeremy Grant trades, but I guess we can just kind of do that as we go into the mock.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because
We're
Jeremy
gonna
Grant
talk about every team.
projected to get traded. Obviously, I mean, he still doesn't have to. I don't think we have to, but we'll see, I guess. But yeah, I think we're ready to hop into it. Official 1.0 mock draft, high tempo edition. On the clock, the Orlando Magic with the first overall pick.
This has like surprised me in the last few days of the new front runner in the NBA draft. I did not expect Jabari Smith. That's why I've got Magic taken, number 1 overall. I did not expect him to jump up and become like the favorite. To me, and I haven't taken him. I don't think it's the greatest move. To me, Jabari Smith is the worst out of the 3 right now. I think NBA ready wise, the best player is Paolo Banchero. I think he's the most NBA ready right off rip. And I think the highest upside is Chet Holmgren, which leaves me as Jabari Smith being the 3rd best because either one you're looking for, there's 2 other guys that are better, like whether you're looking for right now or later. And with the Magic, you have Franz Wagner playing your 4 and your 3, and he could be a modern day 4 at this point. And Jabari is obviously the modern day 4 build. Defensively, he's not like as big as you might need to be to defend some of those. I don't know how well he's going to do against a guy like Grant Williams. Granted, Grant Williams isn't like a lethal scorer, but you know what I'm saying. But he's a 6'10" elite sharpshooter, so I understand the love for a guy like that. He is the future. But I don't know, man. I'm worried that the Magic might be screwing this up.
See, I don't have the Magic taking Jabari Smith, but I'm like the complete opposite. I think Jabari Smith is like the most intriguing prospect out of those 3 because of his ability to score is better than the other 2 guys. And I think defensively he can be the best out of the 3 guys as well. So it's going to be interesting, but I'll talk about him when I get to him. I have Chet Holmgren going number 1 overall to the Orlando Magic. I think for them, obviously, I mean, you're going to get one of these great players, and getting the first pick is great and everything, but choosing between these 3 is going to be difficult.
It's gonna suck.
Because like you say, they're all so close. I think you get either of them or all 3 of them, you're satisfied. So like being the Houston Rockets at number 3 or OKC at number 2 is kind of the spot to be at. Like we'll take whatever you don't want. I went with Chet Holmgren because Mo Bamba is a free agent for Orlando. I think he's going to be gone. It kind of seems like it. Wendell Carter played the 4 for them this year, stretched the floor, learned to shoot threes a lot better, and he played good at the 4. So I think getting a 5, I mean, I guess Chet's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be a 5 or not.
I think he's going to be a 5.
I think he is, and especially if you play him with a guy like Wendell Carter, who does play the 5. You can have Carter guard the centers if you want. Holmgren played high school basketball with Jalen Suggs, who went first round to the Magic last year, so there's a kind of a connection there. Holmgren is going to be a good, I still think he's going to be at least a good player.
Oh, absolutely. I think he will be too.
Like I know that there's a lot of worries with Chet Holmgren, but man, if he ends up in a Detroit Pistons uniform, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah,
so
facts. If I end up with Chet, I'm pumped.
Exactly. So I think Chet, like, as much as there's the worry with him, I think his upside is ridiculous. Like the way he moves for how tall he is, his handle for how tall he is. At Gonzaga, he had to take a little bit of a lesser role because that team was so good, filled with upperclassmen. I'm excited to see how he does with more opportunity on a Magic team that is, I mean, let's face it, they've been one of the worst teams in the league the last 2 years, so he's going to have a lot of freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Chet is just, and again, he's so intriguing. He's the next unicorn. He's the next, Kristaps, but a better ball handler.
Yeah.
This guy, Chet could be legit a special player.
He's an elite
league.
shot blocker. Yeah, he's not the biggest,
but
he's not going to bang down low with Joel Embiid, but he's going to block shots 100%. The dude averaged like 4 blocks a game in high school.
Yeah, think about his rotational defensive ability. Yeah, he might not be the main defender, but watch when he rotates on your backside. Good luck getting that shot off. He's blocking that shit.
Like, I hate how people act like guys just aren't going to gain weight when they go to the NBA.
This dude's 18, like 19.
Do you realize all the weight plans and diet plans and workout routines that these NBA teams have ready to go for these guys? Like, I can't name a single player that was just this scrawny, skinny kid in college, came to the league and just stayed that way.
Forever.
Like Kevin Durant, even him, like he's still, you could kind of say he's scrawny. Look at him compared to when he was 18 at Texas. Like, he was probably scrawnier than Chet was.
Yeah, look at Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, exactly.
That dude was like tiny. He's not
gonna stay under 200 pounds like his whole career.
Yeah, he will fix
get
that.
bigger. 100%.
Like, the NBA teams won't even allow him to like. It's not like he's got to choose. It's you have to.
Yeah.
You must
or
do it.
we won't draft you.
Yeah, it is. You have one option, dude. Get bigger.
And I doubt he just doesn't want to.
Yeah, and it's not like, he knows it's going to benefit him.
Exactly.
He's not like, no, I don't want to eat. No,
I want to stay this skinny. I like it. Number 2, OKC.
This is where I have Chet Holmgren going. I think it's like perfect. The Thunder are in an infinite rebuild scenario, and I don't see them tumbling out of it anytime soon.
Hey, they're getting Wembanyama next year. That's why I think that the tank is ending after that.
Yeah.
That's what they're going until then.
But like, eventually, they're going to have the greatest G League team ever. They might have multiple All-Stars on their G League team. What happens to Pukasevsky here in the next few years?
I feel like this might be his year. Like, break out this year. I mean, they have like 20 dudes on their team they're trying to play.
If he doesn't break out this year, he's gone.
Yeah,
like, you have to move on.
Yeah, they're going to move on from a couple of young guys after
That's
this
the
year.
issue with the Thunder, is they have to move on. They have to pick and choose who they're moving on from in two or 3 years.
Because what if Pukasevsky gets traded to the Pistons and blossoms?
Like, Marvin Bagley. I mean, it's the way things go.
Anyways, though,
the Thunder, it's just a perfect landing spot for Chet. They've got all the right pieces to grow as a team, and it gives him plenty of time to grow. There are no big expectations in OKC. Yeah. Same with Magic, same with the Rockets. You can say it for all three. But again,
but OKC even
OKC
more.
is like, you literally, they are not planning to win within, looks like, from now until 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. Like, they're still in rebuild mode. So he's got plenty of time to grow, which I think is huge for a star, especially a young star with so many questions. Better to go in a city with less pressure.
Yeah, and they're a good developing team. They always have been too. So it's a great spot for him. I have Jabari Smith going here to OKC. They have a lot of young players in general, but their main young players going into the future are all guards. So it's really big for them that they got one of these top 3 picks, because all 3 of these teams their young players are guard heavy. Yeah. They need a big to match with them, and
pretty crazy.
It works out. Like, I honestly am happy for all 3 of those teams. Like OKC, I'm not that happy.
I'm not either. I think they're cheating.
Right, exactly. Like the other, like Houston and Orlando, I was happy Orlando got the first pick. Houston, I don't hate them like I once did. Yeah. So, all 3 teams need a big man, so it works out for them. Jabari Smith to OKC, though, I think it would be a great. I can't wait to see him and Shea Gill just play together, or Josh Giddey as well. I think he fits right in with that core. They still need a lot more, obviously, but imagine if they do get Wembanyama, you have a core of Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort, Jabari Smith, Victor Wembanyama, and then you have Trey Mann, you have Pukasevsky, you have there's a lot of other guys. Isaiah Roby. There's way more that I just can't think of right now. Darius Baisley. There's so many.
They just keep going.
Yeah, so I like getting Jabari Smith Jr. because they do need a 4 or a 5. So
whatever happened to the narrative of hating the teams who tanked? Like, remember when the trust the process Sixers was going on?
Yeah.
And people were like, they're ruining the game. This is wrong.
Yeah.
Why don't we keep that same energy with the Thunder?
But the thing is
it because they're not in Philly?
Philly did Maybe, yeah, but like also Philly didn't trade for 37 first round.
They just started
They
losing.
have 37, or it's either, okay, I might be wrong here, so don't.
I think it's
quote me.
27.
Yeah, it's either, I was gonna say it's either 37 or 27 over the next 5 years. It is 27.
Yeah.
37 is ridiculous, but 27 over
ridiculous.
5 years.
That's 27 new players that have to be rostered.
You realize that you would get 5 in a regular situation, like.
You have 5 times
Is it
normal
even
amount.
27? That might be even a lot.
I don't know,
it might be 17.
But it will cause problems. I'm not making a trade with the Thunder.
But that's what I'm saying.
To send
you
me 7
trade
picks.
all of them for the first pick next year to get Wemben, and then it's over.
Yeah, facts.
You know?
And then that's the other team's problem.
Exactly. But if I'm the team that gets the first pick, do I get Wembanyama or do I take 10 first-round picks from OKC? Probably.
Like, he's that special.
But, or you don't.
Or you don't. I don't know. That's a tough call.
Number 3, Houston.
Houston Rockets. Man, this team went from a shit future to looking pretty good all of a sudden.
I mean, not like a shit future. They have a lot of young guys.
Yeah. But, like, I wasn't high on them.
Right.
You weren't. You add in Paolo Banchero. This team all of a sudden is like, whoa, they are athletic as hell. They move all over the floor, offensively gifted, defensively gifted. They can do a lot. If you need an offensive heavy roster, you're playing Jokic, you can put Sengun in. Okay, if Sengun can't play, put Paolo at the 5. Right, he can be your small ball Christian 5 Wood. At 6'11". You still have Christian Wood. This team is gonna get lethal here, and I don't know how long, but this team could be scary in the future. They have rebuilt very, very well after the James Harden deal. Granted, it was pretty easy with how much they got back for James Harden.
Yeah. I have Paolo Banchero here, number 3 to Houston. It kind of seems like the top 2 has become a little consensus between Chet and Jabari Smith, with Banchero sneaking in here at 3, which I kind of understand. I mean, Banchero definitely is the least. For how at least at like
physically
gifted he
gifted.
is, he's not a good defender, and he's a lazy defender, like a lot of backdoor cuts, and which that could be why he's a lot bigger. I think the other guys have more defensive potential, but Banchero is a really good scorer, like attacking the basket. He's better than them other 2 guys, 100%. Really good in the pick and roll. He shot the ball pretty well this season,
especially in the tournament when it mattered. He shot the ball really well,
and I think he could be. You get him with an elite guard, he could be a great second option. Like you get him with Jalen Green, with Kevin Porter Jr. even, he's going to be fun to watch. Banchero is going to be really good. And I do want to say, I don't think it is set in stone that these 3 go top 3.
No.
I definitely could see, OKC is OKC. Like, they could pull some wild shit and draft Nikola Jovic, number 2.
Just trying to get Wembanyama as hard as they can.
Yes, we don't want to take a good player here. Anyone want to trade back?
Imagine how they trade back for picks. But I could
see Shaedon Sharpe or Jaden Ivey sneaking into this top 3. Maybe it's probably not going to happen. But
it could happen.
But it could. I don't think it's set in stone though that this is the top 3.
Yeah, I do too. I completely agree.
Pick 4, the team that should not have jumped up. The league just feels bad for them, so they rigged it so they would jump up. The Sacramento Kings.
It's funny because when teams do a bad job of building, you start to root against them just because they're bad.
Yeah.
And you literally start disliking them.
Because it's fun too.
Yeah. This Kings, here's the issue. The Kings have the 4th pick. The best players on the board are guards. You traded away a guard better than every guard on the board right now in Tyrese Haliburton. So if you take a guard, what were you thinking? Obviously they can't predict they jumped up and got to the 4th pick. And I get that. But now they're in an awful situation. Holy moly, we traded away Tyrese Haliburton and we're going to go out and draft another guard possibly who's definitely going to be worse. It's a bad look. So I'm having them take Keegan Murray to try and fix their mistake of trading Tyrese. There's just not Tyrese Haliburton he could be a top 10 point guard in the league very soon. He is that good. And I'm not sure any of these guards are that level right off rip. So I think you got to take a forward and commit to, we don't need guards. You got to commit to that.
Exactly. And to think about it, they really don't need guards. They have Davion Mitchell, who had a really good end of the season last year. To be fair, obviously the Haliburton trade, none of us agree with. But De'Aaron Fox's game elevated majorly after Tyrese Haliburton was moved. And they have Domantas Sabonis. The Kings, I do think they could be in a trade scenario here with number 4 because they are trying to contend, obviously, that you have to with the current team they have. But I also have them drafting Keegan Murray for the same reasons. You can't draft a guard here.
You look like an idiot.
What are you going to do? Because Davion Mitchell needs an increased role. You traded away your other one. You have Domantas Sabonis, so you really can't draft a 4.
They still have Buddy Hield, right?
No, he got traded in the Halliburton trade.
Oh, yeah.
They have Harrison Barnes, which I kind of feel like Keegan Murray is a Harrison Barnes type guy. I think that's a very similar comp for him. I like Keegan Murray a lot. He's been really rumored to Detroit, and it kind of seems like if he's there at 5, the Pistons are going to draft him, which I'm not against. At first, I was like, Now it's like, okay, that means we're going to trade Jeremy Grant at least, so maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe if you end up getting Keegan Murray and a Benedict Matherin or something, get 2 of those top guys, then I'm cool with it. But as far as for the Kings, I think Keegan Murray's the move here. Your future 3 or 4 if you end up wanting to play Sabonis at the 5. Murray is probably the most NBA-ready player in the draft. That's what I've been seeing as of right now. A great 3-level scorer. We watched a lot of him this year. When we went to the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis, he really dominated the tournament. Really good player. I like Keegan Murray a lot, but I got him going here 4 to the Kings. Number 5, your Detroit Pistons.
Man, I wish the Kings didn't take Keegan Murray. I love Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
I think the way basketball's headed, watching what the Celtics do, getting a bunch of forwards who can guard everywhere. Jaylen Brown is not a forward. He's a guard who can guard anybody. He's only a guard because their roster. I think the idea of getting tons of forwards who can switch everything is genius. That's why I really wish we could get Keegan Murray.
And you even look at like the New Orleans Pelicans. They ran their lineup at the end of the year of CJ at the 1, and then Ingram, Herb Jones, Jackson Hayes, and Jonas Valanciunas. And it worked well. Like, those are all large guys. I think Herb Jones is kind of changing the narrative, too, of don't draft these 4-year guys, or, like, as successful as he was right away, too. You see all these big, tall, switchable defenders are so valuable now right away.
Man, I have the Pistons not having to, because this would be amazing. Whether we get Keegan Murray or Shaedon Sharpe, who I have them taken, I do not care. What an awesome draft we have right now in front of us. We are getting one of these 3 guys: Shaedon Sharpe, Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray. That is dope.
Yeah.
That is a dope.
I will take any 3.
Any 3. I will not be upset.
Cool.
What a great draft. There's no Henry Ellenson that we might slip off and make a mistake of taking.
That's facts. No Stanley Johnsons.
Yeah, they're these 3 guys. I think all 3 of these guys will make quality NBA players. Shaedon Sharpe, however, is probably the most up in the air
He's
guy.
the mysterious one.
We haven't seen him play since high school, where he was really good, but Patrick Beverley averaged 30 a game in high school. If you were in the league, you were a good high school basketball player. But I am still very high. He's just a freak.
He's got the
so athletic.
Crazy athleticism.
He can shoot for a crazy athletic guy. He'd be awesome next to Cade.
He's got a lot of like Jalen Green type comps, just because they're both so young as well. But yeah, we didn't see Shaedon Sharpe. Some people are wondering about his, off the court stuff. He hasn't gone to any press conferences or anything. I don't think he's worked out for any teams yet. At the combine, he did really well. It has kind of proven, at least in recent years, that if you draft the athlete, it sort of pays off. The athlete is kind of the move to go with. So we'll see. Here at pick 5, I don't have the Pistons taking Shaedon Sharpe. I don't know if it's who I want. I really don't. Out of those 3, I'm still kind of questioning. I would love Shaedon Sharpe.
I'm the same way.
Because he is more of a project, obviously, just because we don't know. But I have the Pistons taking Jaden Ivey here out of Purdue, another guy that we got to watch a ton of this past season at Purdue. I think he's still going to be a great NBA player, a guard that plays combo guard. He played the 2 at Purdue last year. He does have the ball in his hands a lot, but I think he can play off the ball pretty well. I think a really good comp for him, like if he obviously turns out to be good, is like Donovan Mitchell. He's not, like a lot of people want to say Ja Morant, but like
they look alike.
He's not Ja. I mean, he shoots the ball a lot more than Ja Morant. And he doesn't, he's not the greatest, attacking the rim. Okay, I don't want to say he's not the greatest attacking the rim.
Compared to Ja.
Because he dunks. He will dunk on dudes. But he also just forces it a lot going to the rim as well and takes a lot of wild shots as well. But I think he could play really good off ball with Cade Cunningham. And I would be happy if we got Jaden Ivey.
At number 6, the Indiana Pacers. This one was tough for me. They have so many options they could go. I have them going best available, which is Jaden Ivey at this point. Do I think it's a great move? No. Do I think it's what they have to do? It's kind of like the Kings situation. It'd be silly to do a different move because I do think there's a drop off after this. Not a huge drop off, but a drop off in top potential talent. But Pacers taking Jaden Ivey, it's not a bad move. Next to Halliburton, playing the off guard next to him, that could be lethal. Could be very lethal.
Could. And I had the Pacers taking Shaedon Sharpe. The Pacers, I kind of was thinking about them passing on him because I do think they are still trying to compete because they.
I thought about taking a forward here.
I did as well, but I think Shaedon Sharpe could be there in the future too. Tyrese Halliburton seems like he is going to be the point guard of the future. You still have Miles Turner. Who knows what's going to end up happening with him? But yeah, Shaedon Sharpe intrigues me a lot. Like he really, I don't know how good he's going to be, and I'm excited to see how good he can be.
Yeah, whether or not he's on the Pistons, I will follow him his rookie season.
Because he's a really interesting story, 100%.
Especially if Pistons pass up on him. Then I'm really going to follow him.
Then it's like, oh, do I want him to do good?
Yeah, exactly. You know? How much am I rooting for this guy?
Pick 7, the Portland Trail Blazers, but hopefully in a month we'll be saying the Detroit Pistons at pick 7.
Yeah, hopefully it's anybody but Portland. They have an opportunity to trade for some talented players this season. Deandre Ayton is clearly disgruntled. The Suns are disgruntled with Deandre Ayton. They've mentioned his off-the-court focus is just not all there. You know, he's literally addicted to video games, they say.
Really?
Like he literally has who's the other guy that has that problem? It might be De'Aaron. They say De'Aaron's focus is lacking because of video games. But like that's a real thing that they say about Deandre Ayton. Pulled himself in Game 7. He was playing awful, played 18 minutes, asked to not go back in the game. He also didn't get the extension this summer that he
went out sad.
It is not looking good. I could very well see Portland going a different route instead of going Jeremy, going with DA. Because then, boom, you were right back into being a pretty solid NBA roster. I mean, you're still not championship ready. You never will be. I don't think. Not anytime soon.
That roster is still
makes it way
back
better.
to competing, I would think. Because you have a young core. You bring back Simons as well.
Now you have Simons
still have
and
Dame,
Ayton.
but you have Simons and Ayton. You have Nas Little. There's a couple other young guys like Greg Brown. So
if Portland stays at this pick, which I'm really hoping they make a move out of this pick, I do have them taking AJ Griffin. I think he is now best available. I have a guy that falls in my draft that you're not gonna have fall.
Think so?
Yeah, I have him fall in because I think he lacks versatility, NBA versatility. But he's one of my favorites.
Okay.
And once I get to him,
I kind of have a feeling I already know who it is.
Okay.
I do have another guy that fell in my draft as well, but for a good reason, I think. I have AJ Griffin here as well at number 7. I was thinking about the Pacers taking AJ Griffin here, but I decided to have him fall here at 7. I think it would be a good move for them. AJ Griffin has a lot of that Jaylen Brown type build to him. He's a really big wing for his height. I mean,
physical.
He's a 6'5", 6'6" wing, but he's a large. He's 220 pounds, big guy. He's actually younger than anyone we've named yet. He's only 18 years old. Kind of crazy. He's younger than Shaedon Sharpe. But yeah, he had a pretty good year at Duke this year. He was like 6th man pretty much for most of the year. Started a little bit, shot the ball really well though. He's a really good shooter, and he definitely has the frame to be a good defender as well.
Yeah, he had just a crazy efficient year. Like he just kind of came in and did the right things a lot.
100%. Pick 8, the New Orleans Pelicans, another team that has been rumored in the Jeremy Grant trade.
I do not want this team to move out of this pick. I think they have their guy. Where you can move CJ back to the 2 if you want, or this guy can be your bench point guard until you move on from some of your guys. I think Ty Washington will be a dog if he goes to the Pelicans. He is one of the most underrated passers in this draft. His turnover,
he's the best passer.
Yeah, his turnover ratio is ridiculous. He hits rim runners like no other. Think about who the Pelicans have to rim run: Jackson Hayes and Zion Williamson. Zion might actually want to play for the Pelicans if Ty Washington's there. I seriously am like crazy high on Ty. I think he could be a monster in this league. He's not like my favorite player by any means, but I love a good point guard.
Player.
I love a good point guard who doesn't turn the ball over.
He's a true point guard.
Yeah, true, absolutely. He likes to pass the
really
ball.
good in the pick and roll.
Yeah.
He's a guy who I just said I have a guy falling. He's a guy who I have falling, but it's kind of just because of the need for point guards. I think is not as high as for a lot of these teams, but I like Ty Washington a lot too.
And he at Kentucky they barely run the spread pick and roll. Usually there's another guy sitting down there. I can't imagine when he gets into an offense that spaces the floor well. it's going to be
because he's really good in the mid range too, like pulling up off of a screen as well.
Hits open shooters like it's no big deal. I mean, obviously he's a willing. He
is a true point guard, 100%. Great vision. I have the guy who I think you are going to have falling to the New Orleans Pelicans here, and that's Benedict Matherin from Arizona. Was it him?
It is him.
I don't know why I knew. I just could kind of tell.
The thing is, I like Benedict Matherin.
I get that, though. I get what you're saying about the versatility.
Yeah, I think he's a little undersized. I think
because he can't play point guard.
And
he's a smaller, too. He's like, they have him listed at 6'5". He definitely isn't 6'5".
And he can't play forward. He's definitely not big enough to be a forward.
Oh, definitely not, because he's a little on the skinny side as well. But Benedict Matherin was the leader of the Arizona team this year, and they were one of the best teams in college basketball. Really good scorer this season, a 3-level scorer, plays good defense, a rim what's the word I was looking for? Riser, rim rocker. That works too. Had that crazy dunk in the tournament.
Yeah.
A guy that I wouldn't mind if the Pistons get if we don't end up getting one of those guards, because I do think we need to get another guard at some point, whether it's draft or free agency. But Benedict Matherin, I think, will be at least a solid NBA player. But like you said, there is a chance that he kind of goes to the wrong situation. Because I think a lot of the players busting is not just they get to the league and they suck. It's they go to the wrong situation and then it just never really works out for them in the long run. And that could easily happen with Benedict. But I got him going to 8.
He's got to go somewhere where he is a mobile spot-up shooter. Because he really is. He moves well and catches that three and catches that ball really nicely. He gets right into his jump shot. But I just the size and everything. With the way the NBA has had it, I don't think you can have many of those guys on the floor if they're not the best players on the floor.
I get that.
Or, top 2 on the floor. Number 9.
Pick 9.
San Antonio Spurs. This is an interesting team. This team could be headed in the right direction very quickly with the season DeJounte just had. The rumors about Zach LaVine.
They're an Ayton team, too.
Yeah, absolutely. They're an Ayton team. This team could go any direction with their draft. They kind of need it everywhere.
And they have 3 first-round picks, too.
Which is crazy for the Spurs. Just not a thing I would expect.
Right, yeah.
But right here, I have them taking the lethal scorer from Wisconsin, Johnny Davis. I think he's a perfect running mate next to DeJounte Murray. 1 or 2 dribbles, going to score the ball. That's it. That's a Spurs guy if I've ever heard of one. I think he'd be really fun in a Spurs jersey.
Yeah, he definitely is a great scorer, but he's not like at least at Wisconsin, he was I don't want to efficient in not the sense of like actually making shots, but taking good shots.
Yeah.
Like he gets to his spots and takes good shots. So I definitely could see that fit for him with the Spurs. I don't have him going here to the Spurs. I actually have Jeremy Sohan, freshman out of Baylor, going here. Really interesting player. This is a guy that I low-key could see rising in boards and being a team or a player that someone reaches for, maybe like the Indiana Pacers or Portland. But Sohan really like outperformed what he was expected his freshman year at Baylor. He's just that ultimate like utility knife guy, can do it all. He's
the 3, 4, and 5. He'll play
exactly. He'll play everywhere. He's a really good passer for a big man. He dunks. He plays phenomenal defense. He gets a lot of PJ Tucker, Draymond Green type comps. And Aaron Gordon one is one that I wrote down that I thought was kind of similar as well. He doesn't have that.
I said that about Kendall Brown, his teammate.
Yeah, you did say that.
Funny.
Yeah, Ken, he's another guy like that too. But Sohan doesn't have the offensive scoring set yet, but everything else is looked great. And he's kind of like a Herb Jones type guy where it's like he's a 19-year-old version of a Herb Jones, that could be a really good impact player immediately. And you just have to work on all the fundamental things, which is the easy part.
Yeah, that's the easiest part.
You can't teach the hustle and the great defense and the passing vision that he has from a big man. So yeah, you can play him wherever you want. The Spurs, I feel like that's a good team to go to for something like that, especially if Popovich is still there.
Washington Wizards at the 10th pick. This is a guy I don't know a ton about. He played in G League Ignite this year. Dyson Daniels, a guard he was in Ignite, right? It's the other guy who was in Overtime Elite.
Yep.
What's Gene Montero?
Montero, yeah.
Yeah. Dyson Daniels, I just kind of went with a guard pick. Pair somebody up with Bradley Beal. Get somebody next to him. If he's going to stay there, you got to start to try and work things out. You got to start to try to get better. And they have a lot of players at every position.
Yeah.
I don't think they can make a wrong pick here unless they reach for Uzman Jang.
Yeah, maybe they do. I actually also have Dyson Daniels here at 10 for the Wizards. I was debating between him and Ty Washington here, and I went with Daniels, and that's kind of why Washington falls for me, because there's not a lot of point guard needs after this. But, yeah, Dyson Daniels, I feel like, is a guy that Washington's going to want to draft, a potential guy. Bradley Beal might be coming back, but he's a big guard, 6'6". He played when they did the Rising Stars thing this year, and he actually was, horrible in that game, which was kind of funny. But he's the highest G League Ignite guy. He definitely be the first G League dude off the board. He's not a shooter. He gets a lot of Josh Giddey comparisons, but he's also Australian and a tall point guard. I mean, that's kind of why.
It's just easy.
But he plays a lot like him. I mean,
that's saying Jaden Ivey's John Morant.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just cheating.
It is.
It's just too easy.
But, he's a good off-ball player. Not the shooter that you want yet, but he's a really good playmaker, and he's got great size for a point guard. So, and you see how good Giddey was year one. I mean, maybe Daniels can do the same.
Yeah, remember, I was high on Giddey from the start. I thought he'd be great immediately.
You did. I'll give you that.
I thought it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was instantly this guy's going to be legit.
Yeah.
Number 11, I have a team making what I think is a bad pick. I'm guessing that the New York Knicks are going to make the wrong pick.
You love to see it.
Because that's how you got to predict these things. I've got them going with, and it's not an awful pick, Jaden Hardy. Hyper athletic guard, definitely jumping up from where he's projected to go. But I can definitely see
that's going to happen, though. Guys are going to get reached on.
Yeah, and think about Bol Bol. He was supposed to be a first-round pick. He dropped to 46.
Yeah.
I could really see Jaden Hardy jumping up, and I could see the Knicks being the team to reach for him. Their guard play isn't great.
No.
And it could definitely use some improvement. You've got RJ Barrett, who's definitely your 3 or your 2 going forward in the future. You've got Julius Randle. You've got Mitch Robb. You got it. Hopefully, they can start putting the pieces together soon, or else it's going to be a blow-up season.
Yeah, your one good year is not going to cut it for now. The Knicks, this was the other team that I feel like the only team until my next team that kind of needs a point guard. But I think the big is the move here, and the big that's on the board, I think the Knicks have to take him. It's Jalen Duren out of Memphis, a guy that I really could also see going a lot higher because you have a team like Indiana that needs a big, but there might not be one on the board. Portland as well. I could see them reaching for Jalen Duren, but I got him here at 11. Just a crazy great rim protector this year at Memphis. Blocked a lot of shots. Doesn't shoot the ball. He's super young. He's only 18 years old, about 6'10", big man. But he gets a lot of Robert Williams type comps right away because
moves crazy.
Yeah,
well.
he is very, very quick for how big he is. And if he can develop an offensive game, he's a lob threat already. Obviously, he's there defensively. So I think the Knicks, Nerlens Noel is, he's there for now. I think he's got 1 year left on his deal. Mitchell Robinson is headed to free agency this offseason. We don't know what he's going to be looking for. So I got Jalen Duren to the Knicks. Pick 12, the OKC Thunder.
This is where I got Uzman Jang. I don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah.
And so I'm signing him to the Thunder.
That's a great, I like that.
Seems like a Thunder pick.
That's a great thought process.
I don't really care. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
He's going, and he's supposed to be a first-round pick, and he's going to the Thunder for me. I just don't care enough.
Yeah, I get that. From France.
He's from France.
Yeah,
nice. Good for that guy.
Yeah.
He's probably good.
Speaking of France,
he's probably good looking.
The Pistons are going to Paris and playing against the Bulls.
Hell yeah.
And Killian Hayes is headed home. Like, we need to sign Sekou just for that game, right?
Facts. And Zach LaVine kind of looks like Rudy Gobert. They could be related somewhere.
Sure. All right, anyways, pick 12, OKC. I got them going with Mark Williams here out of Duke. Yes, I had them taking Jabari Smith Jr., but they don't got a lot of bigs. Why don't you draft 2 of them? Draft 2, play them both. Mark Williams, he is a lot similar to Jalen Duren, but he's 2 inches taller, but doesn't have the quickness that Jalen Duren has. He's a year older. He was a sophomore this year at Duke. He was a really good rim protector this year at Duke. Played really well in the tournament as well. Great offensive rebounder. But, yeah, he just doesn't have the foot speed that Duren has. So that's why I have him going 1 spot higher. But Williams, I think, there's no way he's not like a Nerlens Noel. Like, there's no way he's not a rotational center for like 10 years in the league.
Just a great defender.
Just how big he is, how great of a rebounder he is. He's going to be at least a player.
Absolutely. Number 13, the Charlotte Hornets. This is where I have Jalen Duren going. Last year, he took Kai Jones, who is super athletic, very mobile, very quick. He played some quality minutes this year. When he turned on the Hornets, he'd play
late in the year. Yeah,
he would play some decent.
He played
minutes.
more than Book Night.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got them kind of trying again. Let's try and get another center. Not saying that Kai Jones is a bust or anything. I think he's got a crazy high upside still. But I've got them going with Jalen Duren. Pairing him with LaMelo Ball would just be ruthless.
Yeah.
Absolutely ruthless.
Charlotte has 2 picks here, pretty close to each other, but I had pretty much both the bigs in this region off the board. So there's not many other centers that are in this middle teens range. So at 13, late lottery, I got Charlotte taking Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. The first, old dude off the board, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say Keegan Murray kind of is, but yeah, the first senior off the board out of Kansas. One of the best players in college basketball this year. Shot the ball extremely well. He had kind of not a breakout year, but he just played super good this senior year. Kind of just an all-around player. He gets a lot of Dorian Finney-Smith, Jay Crowder type comparisons because he's going to do it all. He shoots threes, catch and shoot well. He's going to be a role player. And I think in an offense surrounded around LaMelo Ball, you can't have enough of those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 14, the Cleveland Cavs.
That's where I have Sohan going. Crazy versatile. Obviously, they're big man heavy. They do not give a shit. Yeah. They don't care.
They'll play him with Mobley and Jared Allen.
I originally had them going guard here, but why? Your bigs rotation is that good. You can throw another big rotation in there. Kevin Love is on his way out eventually. He can't be your sixth man forever. I've got them going Sohan. I think, like you said, I think Sohan. I'm not as high. I'm definitely higher on Kendall Brown than I am on Sohan.
Yeah,
but it's not like a disrespect.
I think Kendall Brown probably has more potential to be great. Yeah, whereas Sohan, I think definitely has a higher floor, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're both same age. What?
My pinky just full on cramped.
That's tough.
That's tough. By the way, we got rained out of disc golf today.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
First game of the league year.
Yeah.
It's a rain out. And it's not like we went out there and it started raining. Nah, we got halfway in.
Yeah.
And then got soaked.
Yeah, we were wet.
And then had to leave because we were soaking wet. Just a bad deal.
It was awful. Okay, 14.
Rough start to the year for you and Jake. Not gonna lie.
It was not looking good.
Guys were looking a little rusty.
We were looking bad.
Yeah. If it would have been a close game, I feel like we would have been let's play it out.
We were getting blown out.
Yeah, it was a blowout already.
Yeah, it was like the NBA playoffs. Celtics Heat. It was not going good.
Late lottery, pick 14. Guy had
late lottery, the latest you can be in the lottery.
It is the latest you can be. This guy had fallen a little bit. Johnny Davis going to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, man.
Why is Johnny Davis on a Taco Bell commercial?
Yeah,
is that the only dude Taco Bell could get?
Yeah, already.
Johnny Davis is cool and everything, but I got him going 14th. You got him going 8th or 9th or whatever. There's a lot of Taco Bell is Taco Bell.
You could do Paulo.
You couldn't get Chet Holmgren on a Taco Bell commercial. Whatever. Maybe,
why have they not worked to get Taco
Wisconsin guys
in a commercial?
Why have they not?
That would just be. It's so easy.
Yeah,
it's like punching you in the face. Easy.
Exactly.
His name's Taco.
Yeah. Anyways, though, Johnny Davis here to Cleveland. I think it makes a lot of sense. Whether Colin Sexton is back or not, you get a score into that offense. Whether he's 6-man starting, I think getting another scorer in that offense is huge because he can take some off Darius Garland, and they don't have a lot of scorers other than him. It's just a lot of Garland and then him doing everything pretty much. So, yeah. 15, back to the Charlotte Hornets.
I got them going Tori Easton. Versatile forward. His shooting percentage is skyrocketed this year. And if he continues to become a better shooter, this guy could be very, very good in this league.
He is the most Herb Jones type. I know I've brought him up so many times.
Because you love him.
I do like Herb Jones, but I think he just has been I know he wasn't all rookie first team.
But he could be the prototype.
He was probably the best pick of the draft this past year.
I would totally agree. Yep, other than Cade.
And he was so impactful.
Yeah.
More impactful than Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes.
Yeah. And Jalen Green. Let's keep throwing them out there. Let's keep going.
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey didn't even belong.
Not Cade Cunningham, though.
Josh Giddey didn't even belong on an all-rookie team. Just saying. I'm playing. That's a joke.
Franz Wagner.
Yeah, facts. Better.
Anyways, you had Tori Easton, 15, I have Uzman Jang here. Like you said, I don't know a crazy lot about this guy. He's a 6'10" guy that was a point guard his whole life, and he's not going to play point guard anymore. Played for the New Zealand Breakers, the same team that
Melo did.
Did Melo play? I thought RJ Hampton. They both played for that team. Yeah, because RJ Hampton.
No, it might not be Melo. I think that's just the NBL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the same team.
I know RJ Hampton played for the New Zealand Breakers, but I don't know if maybe LaMelo.
I think they played against each other. I think they were against each other.
Yeah, they did play against each other. Yeah, because they were the same draft.
Yeah.
But he plays for the same team there. He's from France. Don't know a lot about him. It looks like he's just what I've read about him is his offensive game isn't quite there yet, but he's a 6'10"
That's all those
player
French
with
dudes.
Guard handles. So.
When was the last time a French guy came in ready to play offensively? I'm
Evan
serious.
Fournier.
Okay, 10 years, 15
Yeah,
years
exactly.
ago. Like Usman Garuba. Well, he might be Spanish.
Yeah, he's Spain. But like Kylian, Sekou, I can't think of any other French dudes.
Rudy Gobert,
yeah.
Yeah,
he still hasn't come around yet. All right.
Neither of any of those other dudes.
Yeah, I know, exactly, yeah. Pick 16, the Atlanta Hawks.
This is where I got Mark Williams going. This kind of insurance. There's been Clint Capella talks. So I think the Mark Williams take is just insurance going forward.
Yeah.
You have somebody to fill in if Clint Capella goes.
But they have Onyeka Okongwu.
They do have Okongwu.
And he
they also
needs
have
that role.
They have 3.
Just trade Capella.
Yeah, they have 3 guys at every position that are good.
Yeah, facts.
They have the best roster in the league.
That didn't make the playoffs. Or they made the 8th seed.
I don't understand how that works.
I got Tori Easton here going to Atlanta. I think it's a good fit. Like we said, he's one of the more all-around players in the league or in the draft. Really good in college this past year. Sophomore at LSU. He's a 6'7" wing player. Think he could be a good fit there, 100%.
This is where I start to not know players as well.
Yeah,
like
there are still good players that I have used to be top guys that fell. That's why I know about them. But
it's a couple guys I saw him play in college. But there's some guys.
I don't know a lot about. I agree. Yeah. 17, but this is where it starts to go a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Malachi Branham to the Rockets. Just taking the young forward. This kid could be really, really good. I hope he's not. He's from Ohio State
guy. Yeah.
I don't know any Ohio State guys I like. I don't even like D'Lo.
Really? You don't like D'Lo?
I don't dislike D'Lo.
What about Mike Conley?
Oh, I definitely don't like Mike Conley.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like that Grizzlies team.
What about
like that Marc Gasol, Zach Randolph team? That team, I hate that. Greg Oden? Absolutely not.
That's mean, bro. Do you see that one video of Greg Oden?
Dude, that's the saddest video ever.
Now you're going to say you don't like him because of that?
Oh, do you play basketball?
That's that one dude's grandma, too. Like that famous grandma that went up to him.
Yeah. And like she had no idea. Like
she had no clue.
And like Greg Oden should have been one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
He was taking over KD, in case y'all were wondering.
Holy crap. You know who Mike Schmitz is? He's like the main draft dude for ESPN. You probably would know him if you saw him. He's like a bald guy. He's signing to become an assistant GM with the Portland Trailblazers.
Genius.
That's actually kind of crazy.
That's
He's just like an ESPN
reporter
draft guy.
Yeah, just a reporter. Yeah.
So that means they're not trading their pick.
It must not be. They're committing to drafting.
Or he's coming in and saying, "Yo, it makes more sense to trade the pick."
There isn't as much value here as you think.
All right.
17.
17. I got the Houston Rockets taking your boy Nikola Jovic.
Damn, I didn't even have him getting drafted in the first round.
I mean, he might not. He's a really the fact
it's literally that I got to 25 and I thought this is right where I'm gonna have Jovic, and I just forgot about him.
Gotcha. Well, Nikola Jovic, I feel like the fact that his name is Nikola Jovic is making him higher on draft boards.
Just for confusion.
Yeah, exactly. He's from Serbia. They say that he's a guard in a big body because he was not always this tall and then kind of grew at the last minute. He's 6'10", 19 years old, and he plays mainly on the perimeter. He does not play down low. He's got no post game. He doesn't drive very well. He's a good shooter already, but he's got handles too. Just kind of needs to become a big if he's gonna. I mean, he's big. He's 6'10". So
yeah, I'm replacing one of these guys later in the draft with him because I don't like the guy.
All right,
I don't dislike him, but I'll tell you when I do. Well, you'll figure it out.
Pick 18, the Chicago Bulls.
Real quick, if you're still listening, we're about to that hour mark.
Oh, we're about there.
We're about probably 2 minutes off.
Yeah.
So if you are still listening, go comment in the comments how many emails you have in your inbox right now.
How many do I have?
3,361. That's ridiculous.
Not my school email though. That's just my side piece email.
Your side piece is 3,000? What does your main one have? You be deleting shit on your main one.
No, my main one, I check it.
And you delete stuff.
Exactly. No, I don't delete it. I just open it. I never delete it. But
yeah, technically you have 3,711.
Have I opened any of these emails?
50. You have 50 emails. So this is one of 3,711. You have 3,361 that aren't opened. Oh, wait, no, that's 400.
No, I'm just saying, if you go to this main page here, have I opened any of these recently? No. I opened up this one off that when I bought all that stuff. That's it. I haven't opened any of these.
Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. Quit sending me emails. Nobody does that anymore.
Exactly. Emails are boring. Anyways, pick whatever. What are we at? Pick 18, Chicago Bulls.
I got them taking Ochai Agbaji out of Kansas. I mean, it's a Bulls pick.
Yeah, you get a ready now guy.
Yeah, they don't really need much in all honesty. They need to win.
Yeah. I have them going with a ready now guy as well. EJ Liddell from Ohio State. Guy, I have him going a little higher than most, but I think he fits Chicago well. They kind of need Patrick Williams was hurt this past year, but they kind of need another like 4, maybe 3 type of guy. I don't know where he's going to play in the NBA, but he came back for his junior year and got way better at Ohio State this past year.
Especially shooting the basketball.
Yeah, he shot the ball like way better than before. He shot 35.5% or 37.5%. Was always a really good defender. Can guard 2 through 5 probably. So as much as I dislike the guy, he was really good last year, and he should go in the first round. So
I'm rooting for him more than I am for Malachi. Brandon.
Really?
Yeah. Even though, I just thought EJ
I actually
Liddell,
didn't mind Malachi this past year.
Like I think EJ, I like watching that dude score. Like he scores the ball very fun.
Yeah.
Number 19, the T-Wolves. I've not said a guy still, and that's Benedict Matherin.
Oh, I forgot.
All the way to 19.
Wow, to 19.
Because of lack of versatility.
Sheesh.
And guess what? The Timberwolves, you think?
With Minnesota?
I mean, they got Ant and D'Lo, but they need backups.
Ant played the 3 this whole year, pretty much.
And I think he really could. I think he could play off those two extremely well. Play off Cat very well. He could spot up. He actually drives the ball pretty well. He's a pretty solid defender at his size. I think he would fit right in all honesty. Yeah. I like him going 19.
He's got that dog mentality, too.
Yeah, and you can't teach the dog mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Pick 19. I also have a name I haven't said yet. That's Ty Washington going here to 19.
That is so funny.
Minnesota. I kind of feel like the D'Angelo Russell experiment is kind of over. I could see him getting moved this offseason. Whether Patrick Beverley moves back to the 1 and starts for them, I don't think Ty is going to start either way. But like we said, we talked about him. A great true point guard. He's not quite as small as you think he is either. He's like 6'2", maybe 6'3". He's not the most explosive point guard. Like he's not going to come off a screen and absolutely come down and yam on a guy, but he's going to make the right play. He's going to hit the floater. He's going to kick out to a shooter.
He's pretty methodical.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't play flashy at all, but which is odd because he's a Kentucky guard, you know? Those are the flashiest players in the draft. But he played really well this year, and I got him going 19. I definitely could see him going top 10, though.
Yeah, definitely has a slower-paced offensive game.
Yeah,
very
is
methodical.
Not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, I mean, look at the best player in the league in the playoffs right now, Luka Doncic. He's literally the most slow, methodical player I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 20,
Pick
San
20.
Antonio Spurs. This is where I have Gene Montero going. This is another guy I don't know a ton about.
Yeah, I don't have him going.
And you don't really know much. I mean, how much can you really compare? Overtime elite. It's the new league. It's he'll be the test. He's kind of one of the first.
He's going to be the first overtime guy.
Yeah, and they've got 5 stars coming into that OT.
Yeah, they have a couple twins.
They have the number 1 player in the class, like 2024.
Yeah, the Bewley twins. It's either Matt Bewley or Ryan Bewley, I think, is the number 1 player. And then the other one is top whatever as well. So
this is huge.
It'd be interesting, yeah.
But I've got them going Gene Montero. I don't know a ton about him.
Yeah, I don't either. I didn't have him going first round, so I don't know a crap ton about him, but I guess we'll find out together. Pick 20, San Antonio Spurs. This is where I got Malachi Branham. A guy who you didn't really expect to go to the draft this year, but Big Ten freshman of the year. Robbed Max Christie. But Branham he probably deserved it. He was really good, especially to end the year. He shot the ball crazy well this year, 42.5% from 3, 19 years old, a 3-level scorer, gets to his spots. He has a lot of Johnny Davis in him, I would say, and he can defend as well. So Malachi definitely is going to be a first-round pick. I got him at 20. 21.
The Denver
21.
Nuggets. Good one. 21, the Denver Nuggets.
What's 9 plus 10?
Really?
All right, anyway.
4 years.
It's been more than that.
5, 6. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Remember how I said, like, Kendall Brown, Aaron Gordon? Aaron Gordon has underperformed his whole career. Let's just get a guy who might be better than Aaron Gordon, who kind of does the same thing. So let's get Kendall Brown. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. Get rid of Aaron Gordon. Move on from him.
He definitely could be the most athletic player in this draft.
Yeah, and perfect next to Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
And he actually switches very well. Very, very elite defender, versatile defender for sure. So I would love to actually see him on the Nuggets. I really would. I think he could be an impact player off the rip.
Nuggets have the reputation for absolutely drafting great. They take like the risky picks, and it usually works out. I got him taking Leonard Miller here out of Canada, a guy who has kind of been another mysterious guy. He's coming out of high school, but prep school, so he's draft eligible, but he's also like could be not going to the draft and going to college still. He's got like his list of schools or whatever he could be going to. I think the G League is also in that list.
Dude is just leaving all options open.
He is like he's like Jacob, dude. He can't make his mind up.
I was like, what?
But he's so young. He's only 18 years old. Plays in Canada. He's a lefty, 6'10" wing, kind of as a shooting guard, honestly. But he's really crafty with the ball. He's not a crazy shooter yet. I've been watching a lot of like his highlights just because he's interesting to me. He's a guy that not many people know about, so I kind of want to try and learn about him. Leonard Miller, I think, is a Denver Nugget type of pick, so I got him going.
He might be a guy that you just waste time on, though. You know, you learning about all this, and he sucks.
But then think about in a quiz 4 years from now, who did the Denver Nuggets take with 21? I'm like, that was Leonard Miller right there. I knew that.
So Kyle does these like trivia quizzes now at work, and he's getting obsessed. He's starting to learn niche, like this weird niche of Leonard. Like who he's not gonna make Williams.
I would have tried to know this anyways. Like the draft is like I know the draft.
Yeah, facts. Like you said, you can name every first overall pick in the last 20 years, right?
Probably.
That's
at least the last 15.
Yeah, for sure.
20 gets shaky.
Yeah.
Anyways,
because Mike Miller got drafted somewhere in there.
First.
Number 22, the Memphis Grizzlies. This is where I have EJ Liddell going. I really do believe EJ Liddell could be Grant Williams-esque in the league.
I don't see why he couldn't.
Which is like the future.
That's a good comp, yeah.
I like EJ Liddell, and the Grizzlies would be awesome. They develop players so well, and they've done so well for the past 20 years developing players. Marc Gasol, I guess he wasn't a rookie there, but he was a rookie there, but got traded midway through his rookie year too there.
Technically, Mark was a rookie on Memphis. Yeah, he got traded on draft night. But like he was drafted by the Lakers, got traded on draft night. So yes, he was.
Yeah, and then Zach Randolph, Mike Conley, Tony Allen, the list goes on.
John Morant,
Mike Miller, one rookie of the year.
Can we stop talking about Mike?
That's who I got.
No shoe, Mike Miller, best player in the league. Memphis, this is where I got Kendall Brown going. Why not pair John Morant with another high flyer? They got Brandon Clark. I guess that's like their only other high flyer. I was trying to think of other
he's a high flyer. But he's like not like
no. I mean he's a high flyer.
Yeah, but
he is.
But he's not like a top 10 high flyer in the league.
Well, no, but I was just like thinking of the ones on that team. But I was gonna keep going. But they don't really have any other ones at all,
other than Josh.
Zaire Williams. I have Zaire Williams. Forgot about him. But add Kendall Brown to the mix. Why not? Memphis has been really good, like you said, developing players. Why not take a guy who kind of is pretty raw? I would say is pretty raw, other than his athletic ability, but he could be great. So you got him going at 22. 23, the Brooklyn Nets.
I didn't write down his first name.
Brooklyn Nets.
Is it Marjan or Marlon? Marjan Beauchamp.
Yeah.
Big defense. That's what I got written down. Big defense. That's what the Nets need. Big defense. And he is that.
Not small defense. Nah.
Big defense.
Not middle-sized.
They need big defense. Big time.
They do, yeah.
Got to take Marjan Beauchamp.
This is a late night cast. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's making that turn to a late night cast, 100%.
Where we just start making bad jokes.
Just
useless.
All right. 23. I have the Brooklyn Nets taking Walker Kessler out of Auburn. I almost had the Charlotte Hornets reach for him at 15, but it seems wrong because Walker Kessler.
It's too ridiculous.
As much as I don't like to throw the B word with some of these players, because that word is so frequently overly used, and I hate it.
Yeah, he's talking about Bud Dussey.
Stop. Okay, money bag, yo. All right, I'm talking about bust. I feel like Walker Kessler's got that bust potential in him. I hate to say it. He's a big 7-foot tall center that averaged like 4 blocks a game this year. That's against college competition and college centers that sit on the block where you don't got to move much.
It's the SEC, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not the most competitive defensive league ever.
Right.
It's very offensive-oriented and guard-oriented.
Exactly. But Walker Kessler gets in the right system. I think he still could be a rotational center, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully he can be with the Brooklyn Nets because they do need, Nicholas Claxton is there. Drummond is gone. Other than that, they really don't have another big man. So I think Kessler could be a good guy to add into that mix. Kind of has like a Jarrett Allen type of, like his ceiling is like a Jarrett Allen type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
24, Milwaukee Bucks.
I've got them going with the hometown kid who doesn't play much basketball anymore, and that's Patrick Baldwin. We haven't seen him play like a lot in recent 2 years, but when he did play, he was like a couple of years ago. He was the best player in the class at one point.
Yeah, he was in high school.
Yeah, Patrick Baldwin is legit. He's a freak athlete, and again, this is one of those picks where, you know, if you're picking 20 through 30, you take risks. It's the only way to do it.
You either take risks or you take the most NBA ready dude.
Yeah,
it's one or the other.
Pat Baldwin could be both.
He's a risk. I think right now he's a risk.
Yeah.
He struggled big time in college this past year, which is odd. He played at Wisconsin, Milwaukee, you know, like because his dad was a coach. His dad got fired. He's no longer the coach there. Patrick Baldwin is one of those guys that, because all these players that are still retaining their college eligibility have till June 1st to make up their mind completely. He's a guy that could still be good. He entered the transfer portal, so he still could be going back to school. But I don't know.
They got 5 days.
Yeah, and like Caleb Houston and Diabate are both in that. I think Houston will go.
Yeah, I think
Diabate
will
is.
stay.
It's
one of the
He's
two.
on the fence.
I don't think both go.
No way both go. No, I think there's a more chance that both go than both come back. I don't really know. We'll see, I guess.
I would agree
Max
with
Christie
that.
did officially commit to the draft, though. I don't know if you knew that, but.
Damn, I don't even have Max Christie getting drafted.
I don't either. I don't think he'll go first round.
What?
But
he totally should.
I hope
He's like
so. That'd
Josh
be cool.
Primo.
He's going to be the next Jordan Poole.
Whoa. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Milwaukee Bucks, I got Jalen Williams here out of Santa Clara. This is another guy that's been absolutely rising boards. He kind of made like a weird jump this year from what I've read. Like he played his first couple years and he was a kind of like a role player, wasn't the star, and then this year, his junior year, just became the guy of the team. He shot 40% from three. He's a two-way, like just a great two-way player, defends really well, scores really well, averaged close to 20 points a game. 6'6" wing player. That sounds like a guy that the Milwaukee Bucks could use.
Yep, absolutely.
They needed depth last year in the playoffs. It clearly showed they needed depth at that wing spot. So I got Jalen Williams.
Do you know what his wingspan is?
7'1".
7'2". That's a damn good guess.
I think I might have saw it.
Guy.
Yeah,
it's a damn good guess.
I would assume it'd be long if you're asking me what his wingspan is.
For sure. 25. The Spurs again. I got them going with a Spurs guy in my eyes. That's a guy that they might need to develop a little bit. That's Leonard Miller.
I like that.
Like you said, just the Canadian guy who we don't know a ton about. Like you said, he's not the greatest shooter in the world, which is scary in today's league. Because you're playing forward, I think you have to be able to shoot the ball at this point. But Leonard Miller going to the Spurs.
Pick 25. I have this. They've already had two picks. I had Malachi Branham, and I had And I had Jeremy Sohan. So I had them going with a point guard here, Kennedy Chandler out of Tennessee. He's a really interesting prospect because he's tiny. He is very small, but he's got that Darius Garland, Tyrese Maxey type of potential. I think he's a really good scorer. I mean, and honestly, for how small he is, he's a good defender. But at the NBA level, I mean, in college he was a good defender.
Yeah, where you can be a little bit scrappier.
Exactly. He's good. He reaches. He gets steals. He plays physical defense for how small he is. But in the NBA, I don't know how much you're going to be able to get away with that. But he was a really good three-point shooter. He might be the fastest dude in the draft. I mean, especially with the ball in his hands coming downhill. He can finish the ball well. Like, he's a good player. It's just he's small.
Yeah,
and that's
the scary part.
He's 5'11", 6 foot, maybe. Like, he's got to be wearing some... I'm trying to think of shoes with
Air
really
Force
big
Ones.
soles. I don't think he's going to be wearing... Yeah. He's got to be wearing some... Air Maxes.
Dude, did we start that trend?
Hell yeah.
The can.
Let me get a can up.
Yeah. Did we start that? I'm serious.
We might have.
I'm dead.
What did we do that with?
If you win our bracket challenge, you're gonna win.
I forgot we did that. Who won the bracket challenge? All right, if you're listening right now, it might have been. Let's just say it was him.
Yeah.
If you're listening right now, and you entered the bracket challenge, let us know, and we will give you a shout. You didn't even have to win.
Yeah.
If you're listening right now and you entered that bracket challenge, comment it on something.
Or
be
DM
like,
us.
Yo, I won the bracket challenge.
Yeah.
We'll be like, all right, we'll shout you out. And once we eventually get merch, you might get some for free.
Yeah, dude. And Cade was super happy with his award, the thing that he won.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the coolest
when he won
thing.
That.
Yeah. The thing of,
All right, pick 26, Dallas Mavericks.
I got them going with Jalen Williams here. Just elite. Well, I think he's a great fit in Dallas.
100%.
Can play off Luka. Versatile defender. He's got everything. Let's go to Dallas.
26, I got them going with Blake Wesley, guard out of Notre Dame. freshman guard that he was on the fence about returning or not, but he's kind of solidified himself as a first-round pick. Just a fantastic 3-level scorer. He's kind of a lot like Johnny Davis, just a little bit smaller. Say? Blake Wesley out of Notre Dame. A shifty guard. Don't know if he's going to be a point guard or shooting guard yet. We'll see. He was a kind of a decent playmaker at Notre Dame. If he were to go back to Notre Dame, it would be a smart move because they have one of the top freshmen coming in, and they're supposed to be really good next year. But if he goes to the draft, he's going to get paid. So either way, it's a W. 27, Miami Heat.
This is where I'm going to stick in Nikola Jovic. I had a Bryce McGowan, and I just don't really know much about him.
Bryce McGowan was a guy that I was like trying to find a spot for him to go, and I just ended up never putting him in. So
yeah, and I just took him out. That's how much I care. We're going.
That's tough
with Nikola.
He's going to hear this podcast, and he's gonna take it personally.
Yeah, and he is an active listener.
Yeah,
he's been hitting me
up
lately.
He was commenting.
Yeah.
27. I got Jaden Hardy here going to Miami, a guy that was before was a top 5, top 10 guy. And now he's fallen to 27. He gets buckets. Played in the G League, but was really inefficient this year in the G League. But he's got a good handle. Like, he is a point guard or shooting guard, whatever he is. He is a bucket getter, but he just didn't do it efficiently this year in the G League, and it's a concern. Neither did Jalen Green, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, but he doesn't have the athleticism that Jalen Green does. We'll see, though. Well, and I think this class is going to be a good indicator of the G League because it didn't have the top guy like.
You might as well answer that.
Like Jalen Green had. 28.
28. This pick, I honestly doesn't make any sense, but I don't know how to make sense of the Warriors. They have good, young, and old talent at every position on the floor. You want a guard? They got Moses Moody and Jordan Poole. You want a big man? They have James Wiseman, Kevon Looney, who is like Hakeem Olajuwon. We've made the comparison now. Draymond Green at forward, Andrew Wiggins at forward, Otto Porter Jr. What do they need? Kennedy Chandler. I don't know why. I don't know why.
They really don't have a point guard. Like,
I mean, Poole's a backup
Poole is pretty
PG.
much point, and like Gary Payton, I guess.
Whoever they take is not going to get rotational.
Yeah,
minutes.
they won't play.
Like, so just get Kennedy Chandler. Make sure he feels welcome.
Pick 28. This is where I have Marjan Beauchamp going. Just another wing. I think Golden State could use some wings. Big defense.
He's got big D.
You already know they need that big defense. Pick 29. The Memphis Grizzlies.
Might as well take Walker Kessler. Let's get a backup, versatile defensive big.
They have Xavier Tillman.
Yeah, and I thought it would be kind of funny if he never played. Good.
It's messed up. That's not a bad pick. 29. I got Memphis taking Wendell Moore Jr. out of Duke. This is the what? How many?
Isn't he also
how many
a
Duke
center?
Players do I got? No, that's
4. That's your 4th.
Is it my 4th? Paolo Banchero, Mark Williams,
AJ
Griffin, Wendell Moore, and I was thinking about sneaking Trevor Keels in there to make it 5.
He's not good enough.
Didn't though. He will be right outside. Wendell Moore though, great all-around player, 20 years old, wing player. Might as well go to Memphis. 30, the last pick of the draft.
This guy is important. I have the OKC Thunder taking Terquavion Smith.
Okay. I don't know a lot about him.
Honestly, it's the Thunder. Like, I literally, like, this guy.
You had him taking Uzman Jang.
This guy literally could be in the G League for 4 years from here. I don't know what it looks like for the Thunder. I'm so sick of the rebuild.
Yeah. Can we just stop talking about him? Like, I have him taking Patrick Baldwin Jr. because it's a risk.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
Why not take him?
Yep, cut that off. Done talking
High
to that.
school stud. All right, that's pretty much it.
If this does not get uploaded, there will be tears. We will make a post somewhere about sorry for because we know y'all miss us. Like,
yeah, exactly. We know we've been getting so many like texts and hit ups. Like,
dude,
yo, where you guys at?
The other day I did like a mailbox opening and like I dumped it on my floor and
like
I couldn't see my floor. Yeah. I couldn't see the floor.
I had so many like jerseys and
fan mail.
Can you sign this? Like,
yeah, and
nah, dude, I can't. I'm too busy.
And it pissed me off because Jaren Jackson started sending me stuff. I don't want that stuff.
All right, too far. Too far. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. Please, hopefully you're listening to this. I was just going to say, I really hope this is up. Like, I really hope this is up. We'll get back to consistent schedule.
If it works.
Because it'll give us some motivation again.
Facts.
And, yeah, that's it.
Bye. Peace.